welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this video. This is going to be a unedited, unfiltered update, recap of 2023, if my dog allows it. Like I said, unedited. This is gonna be real raw and real. Oh, okay, hopefully the lighting, the focus is good. Here's the deal. Give me 1 second. Okay. I honestly don't even know where to begin with 2023. All I can say is it was a really hard year for me for, you know, various different reasons. Real life, you guys. I thought I could get away with like filming in one of the common areas of the house, but that might prove to be difficult. Oh my gosh. I think it's really funny. Don't worry. I lied. There might be some edits that I have to make to this video. You know what? We're gonna move. I don't want to move. This is like a perfect location. And I got everything set up for it. Okay. I think this is probably where we're gonna have to be. Let's take a deep breath. Breathe. Let me make sure that the lighting is still gonna work for this area. Okay, so 2023 was just a major year for me for many different reasons. One, guys, I ended a toxic relationship. I haven't like talked much about that relationship since I ended it and kind of announced that I had ended that relationship, but it was honestly a pretty toxic relationship, and I find myself still uncovering things within myself that were caused from that relationship. That being said, I am very much moved past that. Guys, it's almost been a year, which is absolutely crazy to me. One thing to keep in mind though with that is it feels like a lot longer, because I will admit that I was emotionally and mentally checked out of that relationship probably for a couple months before I actually ended it. And that's pretty typical and pretty common for these kinds of relationships. So it was just a lot, you know. I went from, guys, it was a long term, it was almost 4 years. That was my normal and my comfort for 4 years. That was my social life for 4 years. So coming out of that, I was like, what is this life? I don't know what, you know. And for the love of life. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do some edits in this video. It's fine. Anyways, as I was saying, I don't think that losing the relationship is what really affected me the most. It was losing the friendship and the social life that came with that relationship, because you have to keep in mind, again, it was a long-term relationship, so the friends that I did have were created in that relationship and were ultimately, you know, started out as his friends. That being said, I still talk to some of them, and you know, I'm pretty, you know, there's no hard feelings against any of them. We're just not to a point where hanging out would feel normal or feel right. But I still talk to them. They all support me. They've heard some things from me, and they're, you know, they've got my back basically. And I'm very appreciative of that. So aside from that, I mean, that was a really hard change for me in 2023. You know, and then you add on just life. So within my family, we were doing the math, and I'm pretty sure it averaged that we lost someone to death on average once a month. It's So it was a really hard year. Now, some of them, you know, didn't affect me as much as others because I wasn't as close to those people, but it's still hard, and it's still something to think about. Aside from death, I'm really trying to get through this video without getting super emotional and crying, because I do have a date tonight, so I'm trying not to mess up my makeup. But it was also a really hard year because two of my family members are going through some really heavy health stuff. I haven't really talked much about it. I don't even know that I've addressed exactly what it is unless you are in my newsletter. My newsletter people know what's going on, and I'm appreciative of them because the support they have shown me has been incredible. But this year has been really hard for that. You know, this conversation gets brought up in my family quite a bit, and it's kind of like, would you rather lose someone unexpectedly or know it's coming? And for me, I would 110% rather just have it happen unexpectedly. Mentally, it's been really taxing. You kind of have to expect the worst, and we're kind of in a position where we are pretty much taking it by every 3 months. Does that make sense? Like, we're living in 3-month increments, and every 3 months, you know, everything can change, you know. And I feel like that's something to keep in mind about in general when it comes to life, is anything can change tomorrow or next week or next month. Like, anything can change so fast, and I've really learned that a lot this year. I'm really trying not to like get emotional and cry, but it's just like hard to talk about because it's such a hard thing to go through. I'm sure I'm not going to talk about, you know, what's going on, and I'm sure you guys can, you know, have your guesses, and I'm pretty sure that 90% of you would be correct in your guesses, but it's just not my information to share, and so I'm trying to respect those going through it. So let's get past that. Aside from that, another really big thing that happened for me that was really hard is back in August, my car actually decided it no longer wanted to work, and I was on my way home. Actually, I was on my way home from getting a oil change, and my car just completely died. The engine blew, and it was the most hellacious experience of my life. 4 months worth of going back and forth. The first 2 months were, okay, do we fix the car, which was going to cost a ridiculous amount of money, or do we just buy, and I say we as an I, do we go and buy a new car? And the thing is, obviously it wasn't planned, so I did not have money for a down payment for a new car, and I didn't have a car payment, so going from no car payment to like a $600 car payment just did not make sense for me. So then, luckily what happened is I have a cousin who, basically a family friend owns a tow yard company, and they had a couple cars that they had reached the time that they were able to sell those vehicles, and so they were able to get me in one, and that was a process. It was like a 2-month process for various different reasons, and I have the car now. I got it about a month ago, and I've already had some issues with it, so I'm not loving the experience so far, but I'm very grateful. I have no car payment on it. I paid fully cash for it. So I'm lucky I don't have a car payment and all that, but I've already had some issues with it and I'm not loving it so much. But I'm like, you know what? I just need more time to have a better down payment, just to make sure that my finances are in a better situation. And then I'll go get a new car. So it's temporary, and the lighting is changing, so that is awesome. Anyways, I'll eventually, you know, go get a new car once I feel, you know, like I'm in a better situation for that. But that was hard. Not having a car was so freaking hard, you guys. I am very grateful that I had people willing to let me use their car for various different periods of times. Super grateful for that, but it was so mentally exhausting because it wasn't just let me get up and leave. It was like, I gotta figure out, is this okay to do this? Do you need your car? Can I use, like, it was so frustrating and hard. And it doesn't help that, as you guys know, like my full-time part-time job, whatever you want to call it, my main job is a nanny, and so I use my car for my job. Oh, you guys, it was just like the worst 4 months ever. And I finally have a car. We're good. I've already had to have the car towed. Like I said, I've already had some issues with him, but it's fine. It's functioning currently, and that's all that matters. Anyways, I'm really trying not to dwell on like the negativity. That being said, now that we're past that, I had a lot of positive stuff happen and good stuff happen this year too, and I feel like it's really easy for us to focus on the negativity, right? I can sit here and I can talk about, you know, all of the bad stuff that happened this year. There was a lot of it, but there's also some really good stuff that happened as well. I took my first solo travel trip. I worded that word. As you guys saw, I finally got all of the videos up. It was one of those, it was really hard for me because it happened so long ago that I was like, is it even worth uploading these? And I was like, no, I want to be able to come back and watch these. And so I didn't feel like motivated to get them up in any particular time frame. But then, like this year, I sat down, and let's kind of lead into our next topic. I sat down and I was like, how do I want social media to look for me this year? Because this last year, ultimately, I stepped back quite a bit. I was still somewhat active, but definitely not to the extent that I have been in the past. And so when I sat down to plan out this year, I was like, how do I want things to look this year? Where do I want to focus my time? How do I want things to look? To be honest, as I'm filming this on January 8th, I still don't know the full answers. There's still some things that I'm trying, you know, going back and forth on if I feel that I have the mental capacity to take these things on, if it makes sense to do it that way or whatever. Because truthfully, with everything going on in my life, especially with my family, I need to be able to be fully present at unexpected times. And I don't want to be invested so much in different projects. For example, like last year, I actually turned down a couple brand collaborations and partnerships because I didn't want to be so invested in a project and not be able to do that to the full extent that I would like to. I wouldn't be able to do it like authentically and transparently enough, and so I just didn't do it. So I'm trying to figure out how it's going to look this year, and then the topic in my brain, you know, and I talk to my mom about this all the time too, and I was like, I don't know, the topic of YouTube got brought up, and she was like, well, like, why aren't you doing it? And I was like, honestly, I don't really know. I love doing it. I love recording. I love filming. I love vlogging. The editing can be a pain in the ass, but it can also be fun. It's a creative outlet. I didn't really have a reason to not do it, and I think when it came down to like the solo travel, I wasn't really feeling them anymore because it had happened so long ago that it didn't make sense for me, but I wanted to get them up anyways. And so now we're moving on. This video is kind of a recap of what the F was 2023, but let's move on to 2024. So here's what's happening. Weekly vlogs. I decided I'm not cut out for daily vlogging. That's not my thing. I don't have the mental capacity for that kind of editing. However, weekly vlogs is something that I can do. In the week, if there's a day I don't want to vlog, I won't feel bad for not vlogging because I have the rest of the week. And so you're gonna get one video a week. I haven't decided on an upload date. I kind of don't want to set one, which I know I should. I know that's what they say, is that you should have an uploading date, but I feel like it has to happen the way I want it to happen. Like, I have to want to do it, otherwise it's not going to happen, and then we just end up in a bad situation. So either way, you're getting one video a week. It's going to be weekly vlogs or whatever is going on. Sometimes it might be sit down videos like this or whatever, but I'm super excited. I started vlogging today because today is Monday, so my week, like the vlog weeks, are going to be Monday through Sunday. And that gives me some time to edit throughout the week as I'm going, and then finish up, you know, whatever needs to happen. So there's what's gonna happen. I'm still gonna be active over on Instagram and TikTok and all the things. To what extent, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still playing with some ideas. I also will be, I have decided, I have made this decision, is to definitely do some more brand partnerships. Whether that is within, for you guys in my audience where you guys will see it, or if it's I create content for brands and they do whatever they want with it. I haven't, you know, and it'll probably be a mix of all of it, but that's kind of a whole other freaking task, I swear. It can be a lot. The thing is, like, when you work with brands, here's what happens. They say, hey, here's a list of everything we want in your video. And so you do it, and you send it off to them, and they're like, oh, we don't like this, so we need you to redo this, 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 and then have it to us by tomorrow. And then you have to, it's a process, but it's a lot of fun at the same time. So anyways, and the last update that I know y'all are wanting, and I kind of hinted at it, is a dating update. So funny enough, the beginning of December, middle of December, I was like, I think I'm ready to, you know, be fully invested in dating a little bit more, because I did take like a 5-month break off of dating because guys, dating is a lot. It's exhausting. I have so many stories and experiences that I'm like, I don't ever want to do it again. And then I was like, hey, I'm ready. And then I had the most insane, like 2-3 weeks. No, it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks of work. And then I sat there and I was like, what am I doing? There's no way I have time for dating. Like, my schedule can be so insanely crazy, but it can also be really flexible. And so I was like, I don't know. Maybe right now is not the best time. And then, so before that, those crazy 2 weeks, when I was like, I think I'm ready, I was like, I'm not a fan of fake words, of dating apps. I'm just not a fan of them. So I went on to Facebook, because I'm still a Facebook user, okay? And I found a group. I've been in this group for a while, actually. So I'm in 2. One is like, are we dating the same guy in my city? And then it's vouch dating in my city. And so I made a post in vouch dating, and I was like, I give up on dating apps. Who can you vouch for? Who do you want to set me up with? A couple weeks go by, and then I get a message from someone, and they're like, this is my brother. Let me know if you want more information. And I was like, deal. She sent me some pictures, and I was like, deal. Send me more info. Let's see what happens. And now I'm going on my 3rd date tonight with him, and when I tell you guys, it has just been so amazing. It's so crazy, and it's hard for me, and it can be scary because of my past, what I've been through. Sometimes it can be scary because how do I know this is legit? Like, it's terrifying because, guys, it's been so amazing. He really is, like, we get along. So we've already gone on 2 dates, and both dates were 4 hours long, because we just get along so well. His personality is amazing. Our conversations are amazing. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, call me crazy, but it's so good. So we're going on our 3rd date tonight, and I'm really excited. You guys will probably hear about it in the next video, which is going to be this week's weekly vlog. So excited for it. I don't know, you guys, it's kind of scary, but it's been really good. Like, yeah, I find myself like just smiling the entire time. I don't know, it's scary, but it's good, and it's it's like perfect. I don't know, it's like timing is everything. Like, really though. Even with my crazy schedule, and my schedule's only gonna get crazier, but he's very understanding, like very flexible, and it's just, I don't know. That being said, I don't really know if or how much I will be sharing about this, you know, going forward. The thing is, I choose to share my life online, but like other people don't really choose for their lives to be online. And that's why, like, even when I'm with family, I usually am like, I'm not gonna do it. Sometimes I will, and they're like okay with it, but I'm not gonna pressure it. I'm not gonna push it. He's very like encouraging and understanding of it all, but I don't know, we'll see what happens, you know. Now, that being said, I'm not gonna be like, no more information at all for you. I'm going to let you guys know like how things are going, but probably won't, you know, go into too much detail. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going on a date, and that's probably about the extent of it. I haven't decided. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe you'll see him, maybe you won't. I don't know. Let's see how this day goes. Just kidding. I feel really good about it, the whole thing. Honestly, I really do. So I think that's everything that I need to say. This video is so freaking long. I'm so sorry. It was a mess at the first part, but we made it through. And my my camera's gonna stop me from recording anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait for this year. Major things are. Remember how I said my camera's gonna cut me off? It did. Back to what I was saying. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I love every single one of you. You're amazing. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. It's fun. Blah, 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 blah. Do all of that fun stuff. It's gonna be a great year, and I'll see you guys next week for the first official weekly vlog.